Okay, this is going to be a little tutorial on how to create our bench drawing from our photograph. We're going to do the bench drawing in Illustrator, and then we're going to, once we've got it done, we're going to bring it back and we're going to put it into the photo. This will be useful later as we do our designs. We can show them how they would exist in context. The other thing that we're going to end up doing is that we're going to end up putting this into a drawing that looks like this, and we'll post this. So you have two things that you're going to end up posting. You're going to post the line drawing in this template onto Blackboard, and then you're going to post the line drawing with a little bit of shading in it in Photoshop. Okay, so the way we're going to start is we're going to start in Photoshop, and we bring in the image. So go ahead and bring that image in. It doesn't matter what size it is. We're going to then go to Illustrator and we're going to create a new file. So you go File, New, and you want it to be 17 inches wide, 11 inches high. Keep all the defaults, 300 ppi, and then hit OK. Now since I've already have this, I'm not going to make it. Okay, so here's the artboard. Now what we're going to do is we're going to bring in that photo image. So we're going to go File, Place, and we've done this before. So here's the image right here, and it's quite large. So I know because it's so large, I'm just going to go Object, Transform, Scale. And I actually know it needs to be about 35% of its original size. Say OK. Now it's disappeared down here. So I'm just going to bring it back up. Bring it onto the artboard. And this is still, even this is too large. Actually, this is actually about right. Doesn't matter if it doesn't fit because we're just going to be drawing around this. All right. So look at your layers panel, and there's our first layer, which is the photo. Let's create a new layer, which means it's going to be on top, and that's what we're going to do our drawing on. So we're going to lock this. So we're going to draw on this, and we're going to do this using the pen tool. We want to make sure that the fill is deselected and that we've just got strokes. What we're going to do is we're going to outline the concrete, and we're going to outline the big bench area. And then we're going to use a slimmer line to do all of this. So let's do the outline in a 4-stroke. So it's going to be 4. That's what we'll do all this stuff in. And then these interior lines we're going to do in a 2. So I'm going to enlarge this a little bit. So just select the pen tool, make sure it's 4, and then I'm going to start at some place. Usually it's nice to start at a point and then click. And then this is where it's a little tricky. You have to bring the point of the pen tool down, click, and then hold, and then drag. And you see as I drag this vector, it changes the length and curve of the line. Okay, now that's good. I'm going to right now, I'm just going to pretend that this line continues all the way to the back and do this one big curve all at once. The larger the curves you can make, the less points, the smoother it's going to be. I'm going to hit the anchor and I'm going to come up here. Now this is going to be a very hard curve to do. I can try this. See, it's pretty hard to pull it to all the exact. We'll use that. It doesn't have to be exact. Then I come up to So I'm doing an okay job, not a great job. All right. Now you can see if you've completed it, go ahead and hit the selection tool, and then again anywhere outside the line we can turn off the layer and we can see that we've got a complete line there. So that's a good way to check. All right. Now, how do we deal with this line here? We could wait until we've drawn the line for the bench, but we know that it doesn't need to continue through there. So let's go to the scissors tool, which is under the erase tool, and just select right where it hits. Okay. Now, if I hit delete, it would delete everything around there, everything that's highlighted red. So I don't want to do that. So I go to my selection tool and I select this section and then hit delete. And then that gets rid of that part of the line. So again, we can see how that's done. All right. Now what we want to do, let's do this curve, and we're going to do it in a 2-point. And again, I'm just going to go really fast. I know you guys are going to be a little bit more careful than I am because you're not in a hurry. And again, it's a little bit hard to see, but just kind of eyeball it. Use your best judgment. Go again up to the anchor, and then come down here. All right. Let's see what that looks like. That's good. All right. One of the things that's sort of tricky to do are these little ovals. If you notice, the bench has these nice little ovals. It kind of gives it a nice character. So rather than trying to draw that with the pen tool, I'm going to use the ellipse tool. So I go to ellipse. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to what would be about the center, and then I'm hitting the Option key. And then I click, and then I start dragging, and you can see it's dragging it from the center. And what I want to do is get an oval that's about the size and width, but you can see it doesn't align just right. So what I want to do is I want to turn it just slightly. That looks good. Now again, we've got a little part in the way here. Let me increase the size. So again, I'll go to my scissors tool. And again, I have to select the part I want to delete. Delete. There we go. And then, all right. And then, you know, I could continue drawing. You know, again, this needs to be cut, delete, delete. All right. And then I just keep drawing around. So you get the idea. Okay. So let's assume that we finished the drawing. What you want to do is deselect the background. All right. I'm going to go to one that I had finished, which is this one. And I can now use this drawing before I do anything to it. I'm going to go ahead and select it. I'm going to select the whole drawing. And I'm going to copy. So I'm going to hit Command C. And then I'm going to go into my bench template, and I'm just going to paste it. Oh, look at that. I didn't get the entire selection. Let me go back, see what I did wrong. Ah. I had one layer locked. Can't do that. There we go. Now hit Command C, Command V. There we go. It's a little bit big, so hit the Shift key. Then move the whole thing up a little bit. That looks pretty good. I might move it down just a little bit. So that's good. All right. So I'm going to save that. So I'm going to go File, Save As, and I'm going to give it a name and save it as an Illustrator file. All right. Now that I've got this, I need to put it into Blackboard, so I need to export it as a JPEG. So that's very simple. Just go File, Export, and export as JPEG. I already have that. I'm just going to say replace it. And it'll probably come in as a high. Let's reduce it to like a 5. And then it's not such a high resolution. Hit OK. And then that should be saved on your desktop or into your file. So that one is now ready to go into Blackboard. Okay, so let's go back to our Illustrator drawing. All right, so this is now an Illustrator. What we want to do now in order to get it into the Photoshop document is we're going to export this as a PNG file. Again, I would save this document as an Illustrator file. You always want to save these works as Illustrator files so you can come back and edit them. Once you've done that, we're going to export it. So we're going to go File, Export, and we're going to export it as a PNG file. If you don't export it, if you export it as a JPEG, it's going to bring in all the background. We don't want the background, so you're going to go Export, just say Replace, and then you're going to get this dialog box. Make sure the background color is transparent. That's the default. You know, it could be white or black, but we want it to be transparent. Hit OK. All right. All right.